In this tutorial we're going to have a look at the cylindrical projection onto objects using the texture editor. If you see here, I've got a sphere, and then on the sphere we've got again the checker grid, and here's the UV texture editor showing the grid in this quadrant. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to do cylindrical mapping onto this object, and you'll see that there's this bounding box again with areas in the corner that you can use to manipulate the texture. Now I'm just going to drag this red one, and you'll see if I close it up, your UVs end up in this quadrant here, and it affects the actual manipulation of the texture projected. If I pull them apart, you'll see that the more I pull them apart, the wider the UVs are. They actually repeat the pattern to infinity the more you drag them away from the texture on the object. Continue to appear. Now, if I take the green and stretch it up, you'll see how much it's stretching up here, really quite high. Now if I go to this point and look at the projection, it looks like it's stretching it out, but in actual fact it's condensing all the UVs over 2 boxes, and you can see the reflection of that on here on the texture. So it's only stretching this pattern just over 2 boxes within the grid itself. So if I undo that, bring it back down again. I just want to draw your attention to this little T here in the corner, because if you click on that, you can use your move, rotate, and your manipulation tools, which are similar to your extrusion tools, and you can start pulling the texture, manipulating it on any of the axes that you're familiar with, on the X, Y and Z. You can use that. If you click back on it, and you can see this actual cylindrical bounding box, which allows you to work again around the whole subject, the object that you've got in front of you. So again, you can work with the texture editor and manipulate the CVs as you wish to create interesting patterns on any of the objects that you create. So you can go into the UVs and here, the UVs here, select them, and you can start manipulating them as well as you did before, like creating other patterns. And you can do the same with faces. If you go into faces, you can start selecting faces as well and do other projections. So you can create a planar mapping projection on top of the cylindrical one and start manipulating this as you wish. And that you can see that it's if I turn this display image off, you can see it's the selected faces that you can start manipulating. And that ends the tutorial on cylindrical mapping